Welcome to the Calm and Clarity podcast. I'm India, and here we share insights and strategies to help you live with calm and lead with clarity. If you find this helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Let's dive in.
Diving into something really personal for a lot of people. That often unseen storm of anxiety that can hit during new motherhood. You know that image we all see, right? Pure joy, serene moments, the perfect baby pictures.
The ideal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But underneath that, for so many, there's this silent whirlwind. Doubts, fears, questioning absolutely everything. So if you felt overwhelmed, anxious, maybe like you're failing somehow, you're definitely not alone. This deep dive is for you. Let's just state this loud and clear right up front. You are not broken. You're not failing. And you are not alone.
So important to hear that.
It really is. What you might be feeling often has a name: perinatal and postpartum anxiety. And the crucial part, there are real effective solutions. Our mission today is basically to boil down a really comprehensive guide, giving you the info you need to feel informed and, empowered.
Exactly. And just to clarify, perinatal anxiety, that covers pregnancy, sometimes called antenatal or prenatal anxiety, and it goes right through the first year after birth. And this isn't just, the usual new parent worries. We're talking about anxiety that feels disproportionate, persistent, sometimes honestly paralyzing.
Right.
It's kind of like, imagine your mind's security system. It's just gone into overdrive. Super sensitive, setting off alarms for tiny things.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, maybe intensely worrying if the baby's breathing seems a bit too quiet, Or if there's a tiny change in eating habits and
Nails the feeling. And this doesn't just happen to certain people, does it? The sources say it cuts across everything.
Absolutely. It affects women from all walks of life. Income, education, whether the pregnancy was planned or not. None of that really matters. Anxiety doesn't discriminate.
It's an equal opportunity disruptor.
It really is. And knowing how widespread it is, can actually help normalize it a bit. You realize you're part of this huge community facing similar stuff. Understanding that time frame too, from conception through the first year, it offers hope. It's just this really intense period. It's temporary. With support, you can absolutely get through it and even thrive.
Okay, so let's get into the why. What's actually happening inside the body when these intense feelings kick in? Sounds like there's some pretty surprising science, starting with massive biological shift.
Oh, definitely. Seismic shifts is a good term for it. Think about the hormones, right? Estrogen levels can surge, really surge, like exponentially during pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just plummet dramatically after delivery. Crash.
Okay.
And progesterone, people sometimes call it the calming hormone. It does something similar. Rises super high, then crashes down hard.
So it's like your whole internal system gets reprogrammed.
Yeah. It's kind of like someone suddenly changed the code in your brain's emotional control center.
Yeah.
Amplifying worry, dialing down your usual coping skills. And it's not just those two. You've got cortisol, thyroid hormones, serotonin, dopamine. They're all fluctuating like crazy. It creates this pretty intense emotional roller coaster.
And it's not just hormones, right? You mentioned the brain itself actually changes.
Yeah, this is fascinating. Early motherhood literally reshapes your brain. It's called neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Areas responsible for things like empathy, anxiety, vigilance, they become more active, more connected. It's helping you become exquisitely tuned in to your baby's needs.
So it's adaptive in a way.
It is. And these changes can stick around for at least 2 years. They're linked to good things too, like better multitasking, enhanced emotional intelligence. But that initial adjustment period, that rewiring process, it definitely contributes to feeling overwhelmed at first. It's a lot.
Speaking of overwhelm,
Yeah.
exhaustion, that cycle seems absolutely brutal. When sleep just disappears, how does that mess with an anxious mind?
Oh, profoundly. Sleep deprivation basically alters your brain function. Your amygdala, that's the brain's alarm center, it gets way more reactive.
Okay, trigger happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the prefrontal cortex, the part that does rational thinking, it becomes less effective. So normal worries suddenly feel catastrophic.
Right, everything feels huge.
And the really cool part, the anxiety itself often makes it harder to sleep, even when you finally get a chance when the baby is resting. It's a tough cycle.
So how do you even begin to break out of that?
It's so important to start seeing sleep as medicine, not a luxury,
Right. essential.
Totally. The guide really stresses accepting help. Let your partner take on night feeding. Let family step in. Even just learning to grab a nap whenever possible is huge.
Little bits count.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And maybe creating a simple sleep ritual, like some gentle stretching or reading a calming book, something to signal to your anxious brain, okay, it's safe to rest now. It helps dial down that hypervigilance.
Okay. Beyond just feeling worried, how does anxiety actually show up? Physically, emotionally. It seems like it can look like a lot of different things.
Yeah, it really can. Physically, you might get a racing heart, shallow breathing, that muscle tension, shoulders, jaw.
Oh, yeah. Clenched jaw.
Totally. Digestive issues are common too. Headaches, dizziness, just feeling constantly keyed up or on edge. It's really important to talk to a doctor about these things, obviously rule out other medical stuff. But knowing their classic anxiety symptoms can be, well, validating. Takes away some of the fear, maybe.
And then there's the mental and emotional side, which can be really distressing.
Absolutely. That constant what-if thinking can feel relentless. And something that's sensitive but needs talking about. Intrusive thoughts, these are unwanted, often disturbing thoughts, maybe about accidental harm coming to the baby or something awful happening.
That sounds terrifying.
It feels terrifying, but they're so much more common than people realize. Often, they actually reflect the depth of your love and worry for your baby, not any real desire to cause harm.
That's a really important distinction.
It is, but, and this is critical, if those thoughts cause you major distress, or if you have any thoughts of harming yourself, you need to seek professional help immediately.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, yeah, mood swings, irritability, crying spells, also really common as your body and mind adjust to these huge changes.
Okay, so with all these descriptions, sometimes it might be hard to tell. What's the main difference between anxiety and, say, postpartum depression?
That's a really crucial distinction to make. Anxiety often feels like being stuck in high gear. Your mind is racing, you're hyper alert, constantly caught up in worry.
Right. Wired.
Exactly. Depression, on the other hand, can feel more like being stuck in low gear, feeling disconnected, deep sadness, hopelessness, maybe even numbness.
Okay. Low energy, disengaged.
Yeah. And the tricky thing is, they often show up together, coexist, which makes things feel even more confusing and overwhelming.
So what can help sort that out?
Something simple, like a brief daily mood log, can actually be really helpful. Just jotting down feelings helps you see patterns and maybe start to distinguish between the two.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, when anxiety really ramps up, it can lead to panic attacks, right?
Yeah.
Which sound incredibly scary. What can someone do in that moment?
Yeah. Postpartum panic attacks are terrifying. Pounding heart, can't catch your breath, dizziness. People often fear they're having a heart attack or losing their mind, and triggers often loop back to fears about the baby.
So what helps right then and there?
Grounding techniques are key. Have you heard of the 5-4-3-2-1 technique?
Vaguely. Remind me.
Sure. You name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you can taste. It pulls you right back into the present moment, out of the panic spiral.
Okay. Sensory input.
Exactly. And breathing techniques too, like the 4-4-6 breath. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, then breathe out slowly for 6. It helps reset your nervous system. And just reminding yourself, panic attacks feel awful. They peak within about 10 minutes, and they will pass. It's uncomfortable, yes, but not dangerous.
Okay. This will pass. It's a good mantra.
Definitely.
And what about trying to prevent them in the first place?
Well, consistency helps a lot. Trying to get regular sleep, eating balanced meals, maybe some gentle exercise, managing stress where you can, and learning to recognize your own early warning signs can help you step in before it escalates fully.
Okay. So beyond those immediate crisis tools, how do mothers start building a more solid long-term support system? Let's start with something simple, just using your own words.
Right. Journaling comes up as almost like a form of medicine. It's a safe space, for all those unfiltered thoughts and feelings that might feel too big or scary to say out loud.
Get it out on paper.
Exactly. It helps track patterns, notice small wins, which are important, and it can even give you something concrete to share with a therapist, helping you explain what you're going through.
Which brings us to professional help. Journaling is great, but sometimes you need more. How should someone think about reaching out?
It's framed as an act of courage and love. Seriously, not failure. Getting help early usually means it's more effective, too.
So who do you talk to?
Often it means finding a licensed perinatal mental health therapist. They specialize in this stuff, using approaches like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, or ACT.
Okay.
But your OB, your family doctor, even your pediatrician, they're all good starting points for referrals and initial conversations. We really need to see mental health care as just health care, period.
What about medication? Lots of moms worry about that, especially if they're breastfeeding.
That's a really common concern, and it's valid. The sources clarify, though, that many medications are considered safe during breastfeeding. Often, the benefits of treating the anxiety or depression outweigh potential risks.
So it's a conversation with your doctor.
Absolutely. It's no different from taking meds for any other medical condition. Finding the right therapist is key, and things like telehealth sessions have made getting help so much easier, especially with a new baby at home.
That convenience factor is huge. And speaking of accessible help, technology seems like a real ally here. What kinds of digital tools are useful?
Oh, there's a ton out there now. For immediate relief, you've got breathing and meditation apps. Calm, Headspace, things like that. They often have specific techniques like 4-7-8 breathing right on your phone.
Instant calm button almost.
Kinda. Then there are apps for tracking your mood, like Dailyo or Mood Path, which helps with that pattern recognition we talked about, or just simple digital journaling. Plus, online therapy platforms are booming. BetterHelp, Talkspace, they offer accessible care, and there are specialized apps and toolkits designed just for maternal mental health.
And peer support online.
Yeah, that's big too. Organizations like Postpartum Support International have online groups. You can find well-moderated communities on social media, even places like Reddit, for anonymous connection and just knowing you're not alone.
Okay, so there's digital connection, but building your real-world village is still vital, right? How do you navigate that? Existing relationships, finding new people?
Totally. Your partner can be your biggest ally. The key is clear communication. Asking for specific help. Can you take the baby for an hour so I can shower? Or can you handle dinner tonight? Not just hoping they'll guess.
Right, specific requests.
Yeah. And getting them involved in your treatment, if you're comfortable, can be really helpful too. For family and friends, sometimes you need strategies for managing well-meaning but maybe unhelpful advice, you know?
Like the just enjoy this time comments.
Exactly. Having a prepared response can help. Mostly it's about cultivating a small circle of people you really trust and feel supported by. And then there are professional networks like Postpartum Support International's directories and local groups. Plus, finding new connections through baby classes, story times, or even apps like Peanut that connect local moms.
Building that network.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift to fueling the body. Nutrition. How much does what you eat impact your mind during this time?
A lot, actually. Food directly impacts those mood-regulating neurotransmitters. The focus should be on key nutrients.
Like what?
Omega-3 fatty acids, think salmon, walnuts, flax seeds, they're great for brain health. B vitamins, leafy greens, eggs, lean meats, they're crucial for making neurotransmitters. And magnesium, sometimes called nature's relaxation mineral, found in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains. It can really help with anxiety and sleep.
So it's not just about calories, it's about specific mood-boosting foods.
Yeah.
And eating for stability.
Exactly. Stable blood sugar is key. Regular, balanced meals and snacks combining complex carbs, protein, healthy fats help prevent those energy crashes and blood sugar swings that can feel a lot like anxiety.
Okay. And hydration. I hear new moms need a lot of water.
They really do. Like 13 cups or even more a day, especially if breastfeeding. Adding electrolytes or a pinch of sea salt can help with absorption. Calming herbal teas like chamomile can be nice too, but just be mindful of caffeine, processed foods, sugar, alcohol. Those can often make anxiety symptoms worse.
Got it. Okay, another layer of worry that can come up, this fierce love for your baby, can sometimes magnify concerns about bigger world issues, like climate change, eco-anxiety. How does that fit in?
Yeah, it's a real thing. That protective instinct kicks in hard, and suddenly global worries feel intensely personal because you're thinking about your child's future.
So how do you manage that specific stress?
The advice is usually to channel that worry into specific manageable actions, things you can control. Maybe it's using cloth diapers, buying organic when possible, walking instead of driving, supporting eco-friendly companies. Small things add up and make you feel less helpless. Joining local environmental groups or online communities of like-minded parents can also help. And when talking to your kids, focus on fostering wonder and appreciation for nature, rather than dumping adult fears on them.
And protecting your own peace.
Definitely. Limit doom scrolling the news, set boundaries with social media, balance staying informed with protecting your own mental health.
This all seems to loop back to something very personal. figuring out your own unique triggers. How do you do that?
Yeah, triggers are super individual. A simple trigger log can be surprisingly helpful. Just noting when anxiety spikes and what was going on. Were you scrolling social media? Did you skip a meal? Is your schedule overwhelming?
So looking for patterns.
Exactly. It could be environmental stuff too. Clutter, noise, even lighting. Or social things, like those tricky conversations with other parents comparing milestones or giving unsolicited advice.
Oh, yes. The comparison trap.
Totally. Once you start seeing patterns, you can develop strategies. Avoid triggers you can control. Maybe keep the phone out of the bedroom at night. And have coping strategies ready for the ones you can't avoid. Relaxation techniques. Maybe a code word with your partner to signal you need a break. And building buffers is key too. These are protective things. Good sleep habits, regular meals, gentle movement. Those supportive connections, they build your resilience against the triggers.
Okay. This is all so helpful.
Yeah.
But we absolutely have to cover crisis resources. When does anxiety become an emergency? When do you need immediate help?
This is critical. A crisis situation includes any thoughts of harming yourself or your baby. It also includes feeling unable to care for yourself or your baby because of the anxiety, or having severe, frequent panic attacks that stop you from functioning.
And suicidal thoughts.
Are a medical emergency. Always get help immediately.
So where do you turn in those moments?
Okay, key resources. The National Maternal Mental Health Hotline is 1-833-TLC-MAMA. That's 1-833-852-6262. It's 247 confidential. There's the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime. And of course, if there's immediate danger, call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. Don't hesitate.
Okay. And what about situations that are urgent, but maybe not quite 911 level? When should you call your doctor right away?
If your symptoms change dramatically, if you have new physical concerns pop up, if you're having severe side effects from medication, or if you feel really unable to feed or bond with your baby, call your provider. Please don't ever worry about bothering them. This is a serious health issue.
It's their job to help.
Exactly. And it's actually a good idea when you're feeling relatively stable to create a personal crisis plan. Just list emergency numbers, maybe a couple of trusted people for childcare backup, and your go-to coping strategies. Keep it somewhere easy to find.
That's really practical advice. Wow, we've covered so much ground here. Biology, practical tools, resources. As we start to wrap up, what's the main message of hope you want listeners to take away?
I think the core message is one of incredible resilience. Just remember, you have made it through 100% of your difficult days so far. You have. This journey, even with all the struggles, it's part of your story now. It's teaching you resilience you probably didn't even know you had. And it comes from that fierce, protective love for your baby that's often what fuels the anxiety in the first place.
And the idea that your baby needs you, not a perfect mom.
Absolutely critical. Your baby doesn't need perfection. They need you. With your struggles, your growth, your humanity, and all that immense love you have, that's what matters.
It feels like sometimes there can even be unexpected gifts hidden in these really hard experiences.
It sounds strange, maybe, but yes. Many mothers find they develop deeper empathy, their relationships might strengthen, they gain better self-awareness and build coping skills that will honestly serve them for the rest of their lives. And crucially, this moment, this tough period, it does not define your future. Your future holds so much joy with your child, moments you probably can't even imagine right now. Recovery isn't just possible, it's likely. It's overwhelmingly likely.
That's such an important thing to hold on to.
Yeah.
So just to quickly recap those key resources again, the National Maternal Mental Health Hotline at 1-833-TLC-MAMA, the 988 Lifeline, 911 for emergencies, Postpartum Support International for ongoing help, online therapy, apps. There's support out there. And maybe as a final thought, consider this your official permission slip.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. You have permission to struggle without feeling ashamed. Permission to ask for help without apologizing for needing it. Permission to take medication if that's part of your path to wellness. Permission to set boundaries, even with people who mean well but don't quite get it. Permission to grieve the motherhood you may be expected while you navigate the one you have. And maybe most importantly, permission to just be gentle with yourself. You are doing the absolute best you can with the resources you have in what are incredibly challenging circumstances. And that's not just enough. It's remarkable.
It truly is.
Your journey continues, and it is heading toward.
Thank you for joining us today on the Calm and Clarity podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who would love it too. I'm Desmond, and until next time, keep growing, keep grounding yourself, and keep living with calm and clarity. We'll see you in the next episode.